Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laurah. If you're joining me for the first time, what's up? Hey cousin with family over here, so welcome to the family. And if you're back again, I don't know how many times you've been here. What's up cousin? So it's a beautiful Tuesday and I'm supposed to be shooting a vlog, but I didn't actually do a vlog last week. I just wanted to live in the moment and be myself. So I decided to do a sit down video. I actually want to do I'm talking too fast actually. I want to do a series of sit down videos and I just thought this is perfect. This is a perfect one to start with. Because I live alone and most of my vlogs are living alone diaries. So I'm just going to share with you guys some tips I learned, some tips I have about living alone, things that I've learned, things that I would like you guys to also know before you go out and live alone. So if you're planning to move out, of whether you're sharing with someone, whether you're in your parents' house, what I mean with this living alone is living alone when you're alone in the house. That's what I mean. But I think it can also apply when you're moving out of your home and you're just going to sharing even. So I'm just going to share these tips with you. I hope you guys enjoy. The first tip I have is when you're living alone, you're going to need to have a lot of discipline. Like in general, you are just going to need to have a lot of discipline with every aspect of your life. Because when you live alone, you have no one checking you. No one is holding you accountable. Like, no, you're responsible for yourself. So you're going to need to have a lot of discipline. Like with simple habits, bathing twice a day, doing dishes before you go to bed, cleaning your house every day. But basically you're going to have discipline and train yourself to do these things, because there's no mom to wake you up at 6 a.m. There's no mom to nag you why you're not doing things. So basically you're going to need to have a lot of discipline. This goes in every aspect, like whether it's finances or what. No one's responsible for you except yourself. If you overspend, that's on you. You're gonna suffer because your electricity is gonna go out or you're gonna starve. Everything is on you. You're going to need to be disciplined. Like, that's the biggest thing I need to tell you. When you think of moving out, when you think you're going to be alone, you're going to need to practice a lot of discipline. Of course, the first 2 months will be like, you'll feel free and you'll be doing everything a little bit later because, well, you're just branching out. But as you go, you're going to need to have a lot of discipline in terms of hygiene, finances, even going out, living your best life. You're going to need to discipline yourself, because if you go out and live your best life, how can I say this? In Shona Dizichi, what's this Charles Charamba song? Yeah, like basically you're the one that's gonna finish. The world will always keep rolling. So you're going to need a lot of discipline when you're living alone. That's the biggest tip. You're going to need a lot of mental strength to pull yourself out of the gutter a lot of times. Like in general, with everything in your life, you're going to need discipline when you live alone, because you are holding yourself accountable for everything. Whether you decide to go to the gym, you decide to eat right, no one's going to be in your house checking you. No one's going to be in your house checking if it's clean. No one's going to be in your house checking if you're broke or not. So you're going to need to discipline yourself. Finances, you're going to need to start saving. You're going to need to stop splurging. You're going to, you have to be disciplined. That's the first thing you have. Another thing you need to know when you're moving out is that everything is expensive. I think this is general, but everything's expensive. Like, how before you move out, you kind of calculate your costs, things you're gonna need monthly. You have it all written down, because why are you moving out if you don't have a proper plan? Unless it's circumstantial, by the way. But why are you moving out if you don't have a plan? Because everything's expensive. Before I moved out, I had a plan. I laid out my future expenses, what I'm gonna need every month, how much it's gonna cost me. No, it's gonna cost you more than that. I promise you, everything's expensive. There are little things that you will need to spend money on that you forget, that are never on your every month. There are things that are not on your list that you need to spend money on. And especially now, the cost of living is going up, everything is going up. So everything's expensive. You're gonna need to prepare yourself mentally, and you're gonna need to prepare yourself for that hardship if you had planned. But everything's expensive when you move out, when you're on your own, especially if you're fending for yourself and there's no one to ask money from, there's no mommy, daddy, bae, or something like that. Everything's expensive. You're gonna need that discipline that I talked about to be able to navigate it. The third thing that aligns with living alone is live within your means. This comes with everything. I think firstly, we probably would speak about home deco. Like, live within your means. There's no need for you to go and shop it at home when you can't afford it. The time will come for you to get what you need. And you can always switch up your house, but live within your means. This comes from the food you eat. Everything you have, live within your means. Make sure that you are buying things that you can actually afford, not because you're trying to chase an aesthetic. You can also get an aesthetic for less, actually, so that's not even an excuse. But you need to learn to live within your means. It all comes under discipline that I talked about, because when you live alone, you are kind of forced to do certain things. Like when you're alone and you're bored, you're gonna have to spend on something that you don't want to spend on. You're gonna buy that bottle of champagne, you're gonna buy that takeout. Honey, if you cannot afford it, don't buy it. Live within your means when you live alone, because you're responsible for yourself. If you're broke, that's on you. Don't be dependent on other people that they think they're gonna give me, they're gonna do what. That's on you. So live within your means. Don't try to make everyone happy. Live within your means. Make sure that satisfies you. That's the biggest tip about living alone. It's starting from where you go and live alone. Live within your means. If you cannot afford to rent your own apartment, start by sharing if you have to move out. And if you can't afford to rent your own apartment, find a neighborhood that's more convenient for you, that's more affordable. Live within your means. There's no need for you to go to Sandhurst if you can't afford it. Sandown, Bryanston, there's no need for you. Okay, Bryanston's not that expensive, but anyway, there's no need for you to go to these expensive neighborhoods if you can't afford it, to be honest. Like, find something that's within your means and appreciate it. Make it pretty, make it gorgeous, but live within your means. The fourth thing I'd like to let you guys know is to romanticize your life. Because when you live alone, if I'm being honest, you have your emotions are very unpredictable, because you're on your own and there's no one to get you out of a rut. So you need to make sure every moment of your life is romanticized. Don't wait to buy that when you have a man coming over. Don't wait to do that when you have a man. Romanticize your life. If you're a Sunday lunch kind of person, if you're alone, make that Sunday lunch. Go to church, come back, cook the hell out of your Sunday lunch. Romanticize everything. If you're gonna be I drink my juice from a wine glass. I romanticize my showers. I romanticize when I'm cleaning. When I'm cleaning, I like to play a playlist that kind of sounds like a reel, and I always go to my friend and I say, friend, I was really living an Instagram reel today. When I was cleaning, I felt like I was. So romanticize your life. You need to make the moments beautiful, because no one's gonna do it for you. And you need to do that because you need to show yourself some love. Because when you're alone, especially when you're single, like me, you have to romanticize everything, to be honest. Because if you don't, your life will seem quite monotonous, to be honest. Wake up, take a shower, look pretty. Cook your meals every day. If you like something, spoil yourself. Romanticize everything that's going on. If you're watching TV, make it romanticize your life. Don't just be random. Be intentional about yourself when you live alone, because if you're not, you will quickly spiral, personally. Another thing you need to know before you move out is it can be very lonely. Living alone is the pits. It's amazing, please don't get me wrong, it is amazing, I love it, but when it comes to loneliness, it's the pits. You wake up, especially on the weekends that my friends are busy, because my friends are married or dating or something like that. I wake up, I'm in this house, nowhere to go, especially if it's raining and you've got no appointments. You wake up, you're in the house, you're watching TV, you're not even talking to anyone. And if you've got no one in your life, no one's even gonna call you, no one's even gonna text you. Nothing is, you're literally alone. So it can be very lonely, and loneliness can easily turn into depression, guys, which is why when I wake up feeling happy, I kind of hold on to those moments, because when I'm not happy, when it's not good, it's not good. So it can be very, very lonely living alone, especially when you're single. There's no one coming over, there's no one texting you, there's no one making you laugh. You're just on your own. So which is why I'm saying you need to romanticize your life, because it can be very lonely. Romanticize your Saturdays. If you've got no plans, you're indoors, romanticize it. Make your home beautiful for you. Make your home bearable for you. Make your home your comfort zone. Because living alone can be very lonely, especially if you're coming from a place where you have a big family and you are always around people. Imagine living alone in a foreign country. I'm so sorry to everyone that's watching and is going through this, but living alone can be very, very lonely. So I would suggest learn how to go for solo dates, find a hobby, join a tennis club, swimming club, church, cell group. Find something to do, because living alone can be very lonely and it can easily turn into depression. Because of that, here's my next tip. You're forced to confront yourself. Living alone will force you to heal. It will either break you or it will heal you. Those are the two things that happens when you're living alone. Actually, I think it works hand in hand, because I feel like for you to be, for myself personally, the healing comes a lot of brokenness. Like, I have to get to a certain breaking point, break and heal, break and heal. Like, I have to, like, yeah, peel that shit off, so it has to crack and break and fall off, crack and break. But yeah, there are two things: you break or you mend. Like, when it comes to, you're forced to confront yourself, your fears. Like, there's a lot of healing that goes with living alone, and if you're not the person that's good with themselves and forced to confront themselves, it's gonna be very hard for you, because there's a lot of confrontation with yourself that comes, because you're gonna be in your own company a lot, and you're gonna rely on your own mental strength a lot. You're gonna have to be reliant on yourself a lot, so you're going to need that mental strength when it comes to living alone. So it's going to force you to confront yourself. So if you're not ready for that, don't do it, because it'll drive you there. And then the next point is that you're going to need a community. Living alone, you're going to need a community, guys. Like, whether it's a church community, it's some friends, whether it's online, offline, in person, you're going to need a community, to be honest, because it can be hard. Like, it's not as easy as you guys think, financially, mentally, you know, it's just not as easy. You're going to need a community, people that you can rely on, people that can rely on you, even when it comes to just hanging out, going for a drink. Not all the time, but you're going to need to have people around you. You're going to need a community, online or offline. Living alone requires you to have a community. That's just my 2 cents about it. Yeah, because I wouldn't have been where I am today if I didn't have a community. Like, when I moved out, my friends helped me. Petra gave me the lounge thing. Like, I had a team of people around me. Like, I may not see them every day, but you're going to need a community when it comes to moving out. Like, yeah, you're going to need a community, because when it gets lonely, you're going to spiral, and you're going to need a community. My last point is that you're going to need to set boundaries with yourself and with other people, because when you live alone, people kind of, if you're like a people person, people kind of have the tendency of, oh yeah, we're not going to her house, or we're not doing this. But you're going to need boundaries for yourself as well. The things you do, the people you let in your space, because the last thing you want is to let people in your space and then you're left there feeling some kind of way. So you're going to need boundaries. You're going to need to be firm about it. So if you're a people pleaser that struggles with boundaries, know that when you live alone, you're going to need to work on it. You're going to need to work on saying no, because when people invite you to go out, you'd be like, oh, my mama said no, or whoever said no. But when you're alone, you've got no excuses. So you're really going to have boundaries. You're going to have to learn to, like, stay and stand on your word. But anyway, that was short, that was straight to the point. But basically, those are my tips, what you need to know and what you need to learn about living alone. But the best and most important thing is the discipline. You're going to need to have a lot of discipline and mental strength when you're living alone. Anyway, guys, that was short and sweet, straight to the point. I hope you enjoyed my video. And if you're planning to live alone, all the best, and I wish you nothing but the best. And if you've been living alone, please share some tips with us, or if you lived alone at some point, please share something in the comment section that would help the next person when they want to move out or when they want to live alone. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Bye.